think I think Jokic. I think Jimmy's always going to be seen as this like he's a really good player. He'll at some point need that ring, but I don't think anybody needs it more than Jokic at this point. Like he's got 2 MVPs. He's done everything you could do in the league up until this point. But those MVPs don't mean anything if you don't win that ring. Like look at Steve Nash. He got 2 MVPs. He's made a couple conference finals trips, but you don't really see him up there as one of those top guys of all time. Like Steve Nash is a really good point guard, but he's not in that upper echelon of point guards when you're talking about point guards in this league. Like Jokic, I think regardless, he'll be considered one of the top 5, top 10, I'll say, centers of all time. But if you get a ring and you now got a couple MVPs on your resume, that does wonders. Because I think he's still elevating his game. Like I gotta say, the best player in the league right now, as far as getting his teammates involved, and it's not basically built off of what he can do for you scoring. Like he does so many other things that he brings that to your team. But if he wins this ring, I think that cements him in history. He's gonna go down top 50 at least of all time. So you get a ring, then now you start inching your way up that ladder. Look at Giannis. If he doesn't get that ring, and he's just an MVP who, is a nice story from how he got it out the mud. But I think you judge a lot of guys by if they won or not. Like if you look at Charles Barkley, if he got 1 or 2 rings, the convo about his legacy and his career would be totally different.
I completely agree. Charles gets so much disrespect and smut put on his name. It's ridiculous.
It does straight up. I'm thinking about 2 things. First off, I'm going backwards. I think that Celtics fans have to be realistic with themselves, be real with themselves, and accept the fact that Jason Tatum may not be. In fact, I don't think he is. I don't think he can be the best player on a championship team. I don't think he can be because he doesn't make anybody around him better. And I think that when Miles was talking about Jokic making guys better, it just made that go off in my head. So I just don't think he can be. That's just me. I think he's a number 2. I think you have 2 number 2s trying to be number 1 on your team. Jason Tatum's a go-get-a-bucket guy, and it's hard to win with that guy being and not even a smart one at that because he only wants to take threes and play on the perimeter. So I think it's tough when you have the situation, but that's a whole different conversation. This conversation, I think Jokic is a made man. I think, you win. It helps you. Yes, you move forward. You're going to move up, but you're already in the top 75 conversation. At this point, winning what? Was it 2 MVPs at this point that he has under his belt? Yeah. So I think for Jimmy, this ring would mean a lot. Like it might push you into like that, 70 to 80, 70 and 80 range in the all-time conversation, right? Like in that, I think it does because you're doing this, you're the reason, you're spearheading this, you're the guy. You lost Tyler Hero this postseason. You didn't have another, scoring part. Caleb Martin came out of nowhere, and that's great, and you need that along the way. But you're the guy who was dropping 50 balls in the playoffs and dragging this team along. You were the A seed, won 2 play-in games, and now you're here. This championship, it vaults you into Hall of Fame status. I don't know if he would have been a Hall of Famer before this, even though I feel like he's a Hall of Fame kind of player. I'm not sure, but I don't think he would have gotten in. I think this puts you in the Hall of Fame. You might be first ballot if you win this ring. And you're the reason why they won this ring against all odds, being the A seed. It's one of the greatest championship runs I've seen. It really, individual accomplishment perspective wise, like you talk about what this means for him or where this team came from. I watched them play the Nets back in March. They were cooked, and Jimmy was out there. Like I don't understand where this came from. Right, it's just him flipping a switch. So, what he's done offensively, defensively for this team, you've gotta give it to him. I think that this ring would mean a lot more to him, just because Jokic. I just think Jokic is a great player. No matter what, we're gonna look at him the same way. And if Jokic doesn't win a championship, let's just be honest. No one cares. No one cares. I don't care. You know what we're not gonna be doing on the show? Talking about Jokic. his legacy, because no one gives a damn. We don't live in Serbia. So I just don't think it matters. I'll be honest. I just don't really think it matters that much. Like Denver, people in Denver will feel some kind of way or whatever. But if we talk about from a national perspective, and I love basketball, I really do. I think I respect this game. But we ain't gonna talk about legacy. It's not like it's like a lot of fun to talk about. He's a great player. Whether he wins or not, he's a great player. You know, cool. He should win. He's the favorite. He should win. And if he doesn't win, it's a stain on the legacy. We can do that, but we don't care about the stain on the legacy because we're not going to be talking about his legacy. Jokic is the kind of player we're not going to talk about a lot about when he's gone because he doesn't have an aura about him. He doesn't have the you know, like he doesn't move the needle. He just doesn't. And it's by design. He doesn't care about any of this stuff. He doesn't care. So for the fans that are going to be fanboys that'll be upset about this, me saying it, just think about the fact that your boy does not care. He does not care about any of this stuff. He just wants to win basketball games, go home and enjoy his millions and ride his horses and you know, eat a block of cheese, whatever the hell they do back in Serbia. You know, so like it ain't even a conversation. Like I just feel like for Jimmy, this would mean a lot. I think it would do a lot for him in terms of where we look, how we look at him. And he's doing something that literally 95% of all players all time have never been able to accomplish. So yeah, I think it means a lot.
Now you brought up Nikola and, you know, the legacy and him not being that type of player who don't even care about the limelight, all that type of stuff. Stephen A put a list together today, like of his top 5 players that are worth the Supermax. And one name that was not on that list was Nikola Jokic. Would you have Nikola Jokic in your top 5 of players that deserve that Supermax?
Of course.
Yeah. He's an idiot.
Of course I would. It's not that I'm saying Nikola's not the kind of player that merits conversation about his legacy. It's that he plays in Denver and he's not a big personality and he doesn't buy into any of this stuff. He's not fun to watch for the average casual basketball fan. He's fun to watch for people who enjoy basketball and are purists and really do this, like nerds, hoop nerds, I guess. So that's what I mean. But no, he's a Supermax guy easily. Obviously, if you're going to do a top 5 list of Supermax guys, you know, you got like Giannis, Jokic, probably still Bron at this point. I'd say Kevin Durant still on the list at this point, although we're getting in a weird territory with him. But I'd still say so, and Steph. You know, so yeah, those are the guys. But so to not put Jokic on the list, I think he put Tatum on there. So after what we saw from Tatum in that last series, where Tatum's over here limping, he's putting it on for you. He's putting it on. He's limping, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so hurt. You know, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. He's so soft, bro." But yeah, Stephen A's trolling. Clearly, he's too busy talking about breasts.
Hey, Josh Hart, to answer your question, I can't speak for nobody else's significant other. Diet plays a huge factor in it. My wife's diet is good. Breast milk, I ain't drinking it just like on the regular, but I've had breast milk from my wife. It's good. Yes, sir. To answer your question, Josh, is good. But diet goes as a huge factor. She eating her little 4 for 4s and mozzarella sticks from Burger King. I would not advise drinking that breast milk.
Yeah, like if Blueface was drinking that's gonna taste like some Henny and Back and Miles.
That's gonna taste like a brake oil fluid. Ooh. You drink it from Krishan. I ain't drinking no breast milk from just. You can't drink breast milk from anybody, obviously, but no. I ain't gonna go where I want to go with this, and it can turn ugly quick. But come on, bro. Come on.
If you're a chef, you could make your own milk, add a little sugar to it, mix it up, put it in your cereal, have it with your Honey Nut Cheerios. You a Honey Nut Cheerios guy, right?
I'm a Raisin Bran guy. Bro.
Even better, it'd add some sweetness to it.
Oh God, that's one thing I will not be doing.
Hey, so animals could drink animal. Why are we the only mammals that don't drink our own milk?
I agree. I just want to drink milk. Period. How about that? How about almond milk and all that? We would do that.
Almond milk slaps, bro.
I'm saying
silk. You gotta get silk. Not every almond milk is good. Silk, almond milk, original, extra creamy, or you get the vanilla one on a gang is good.
I like those. I like that. I like almond milk. It's good. I can deal with
Back
that.
to the series. How y'all? What's y'all predictions for this series?
I got it 4-2 Denver.
Conventional. Denver should win, right? Denver should win the series. I think it's that simple. Seriously, I mean, all common sense says pick Denver. I mean, it's, you know, if Denver doesn't win this series, it's going to be because someone, you know what the bad. Like that's what's going to happen, right? A Jamal Murray series where he doesn't play well. I'm not ruling that out, by the way. I think he was on a heater against the Lakers. It's been a couple of days. He's had a couple of days off. I've seen Jamal just kind of be on and off. I'm not sold on Jamal Murray as like a super, not even superstar. He's not in that conversation. Let's not get foolish. As like an all-star, like consistent all-star guard. I don't know how I feel. I think he's got the talent, but I've seen his performance fluctuate, so I don't know how I feel about that. The role players have played out of their minds. They played really well, but the finals are a different type of light. I think Miami's a mentally tougher team. I think they're a mentally tougher team. I think that's going to matter in this series. I do think, again, Denver's more talented, but the mental toughness is going to have to be, a big part of this. Look, if Miami can get over playing games 1 and 2 in that altitude after playing the series they just played, right, being fatigued as they are, and they can steal one, I think that he could win this series in 7 or 6. I do believe that. And if Jimmy can get off, right, guys can knock down shots. If they're going to double Jimmy, make him pay for that, you got something. But obviously it's going to be about how they guard their pick and roll. Can Bam do a better job on Jokic than AD did, right? What a massive disappointment that was. It's going to come down to that too. But I do think there's a world where he can win this series. I think that the Heat are being slept on a little bit, but common sense says that Denver is the better team on paper. They should win, but I have questions about the mental toughness it's going to take to do well on this stage. And they've never been here before. Miami's been here before. They're battle tested. They've got championships on the champions on the roster already. So I think because of that, I give them a puncher's chance. My official pick would be Miami in 7, just because why not? If I'm being very honest, why not? I'll go with that. I'm rooting for a good series. I'm rooting for a good series. I gave you all the reasons. It's all there. I do think Denver should win, but I just feel like the mental toughness aspect is going to play a role in this series, a bigger role than people give it credit for. You got KCP taking 12 shots a game for you. I don't know. You got Michael Porter Jr. He ain't never been here before. And these light skins in this series, these light skins in this postseason run ain't doing that well. These light skin dudes ain't holding up their end of the bargain. All right. So we'll see how it goes. But in all seriousness, again, Denver should win, but I feel good about Miami and their mental makeup.
I think Miami pulls a Philly 0-1. They're going to get game 1 off of the strength of Denver's been off for a couple of days. This whole playoffs, everybody's counting out Miami. Every team technically has been better on paper than Miami.
Sure.
Every single series, that was the conversation. Oh, they should get smacked by the Bucks. Oh, the Knicks. Oh, bing bong. They losing to the Knicks. Last series, Boston. Boston, what? Yeah. People putting money on it. They're going to be the first team to come back down from 0-3, all this good stuff. And then they wet the bed and Miami balls out game 7. Jokic is a huge problem. They don't have an answer for that. And this point blank period. They don't have the bodies for it. Cody Zeller, Kevin Love, that's all they have with Bam. That's it. Only way I think they win this series is you gotta, as always, the offensive great teams like this, you gotta pick and choose what you're gonna give up. You can't give up layups to the Nuggets. That's the only way they're gonna win. Don't give them layups and try to make them shoot threes. Denver makes their threes, but they don't shoot a lot of threes. Mm-hmm. Try to make them shoot a lot of threes and then pray Jimmy, Caleb Martin, and Tyler Hero with Jack Harlow comes game 3 and balls out and balls the rest of the series. I'm going Heat in 6. I'm going Heat in 6. The Nuggets should win, but I'm going Heat in 6.
I can see it. Miles laughing. I don't know. Miles can't see it. Miles thinks Denver going to wipe the floor. And by the way, Miles may very well end up being right. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I don't really care about this here.
Hey, I'll say this. I would not bet that Miami will
Don't
win.
put no bread on that.
I would not. Like, if anything, I'll put little, like 20, 50 on it and just like, oh, they won, and that would be a nice payout. But I'm not confidently saying, hey, they're going to win. I think they have a puncher's chance. I am not counting out Coach Spo with creating some type of look that they're going to throw at the Denver Nuggets. I know it'll be the zone. It'll be this look, that look. The zone, Denver has killed the zone all year. I think they'll figure it out, and they've been here. I think that's something that can't be discounted. Miami has been in the finals before.
Yes. Also, they're playing house money. Where they came from, you won 2 playing games, and Denver's not. Denver needs to win now. It needs to happen now because you may not get another chance at this thing. It needs to happen right now, and there's no guarantee that they don't feel that pressure and they start missing shots they were making against the Lakers, bro. There's no guarantee. So I just think that you need to really think hard about this series. It's not going to be some cakewalk. Denver's not 4-0 dog walking them. It's not going to be like that. I think Miami's going to get some games on these guys, and they're going to make it a series. And if they can make it a series early enough and not fall behind 2-0, right, 3-0, obviously, right, then you have a real chance of seeing this series go 7. And I mean that because the more the Miami wins, the more pressure mounts on Denver. Not Miami, not the other way around. Miami's playing with house money. They weren't supposed to be here. Eric Spoelstra just is going to get a re-up. He's getting his re-up. He's getting his contract, extension. And Jimmy,
and Monty Williams getting $100 million.
Right. My point exactly. My point. And Jimmy's a made man out there off of just what they've accomplished so far.